Hello friends, welcome to UGC EPG Pathshala. Myself Mohammad Ludha, Department of Geography, Jamia Millia Islamia. Today I will discuss the module urbanization process in developed and less developed countries from the paper Urban Geography. In this module I will discuss about to understand the concept of urbanization, to examine different theories with respect to urbanization, to study how the process of urbanization is different from the developing countries from that developed countries. Urbanization in very simple term means the proportion of a national population living in the urban places. Numerous attempts and approaches have been put forward to understand this spatial dimension, which is basically an outcome of the industrial and technological revolution. Urbanization is basically a process of population concentration, a phenomena which is resulted in change in places where people reside due to the changing condition in the society at large. These changes occur in two ways: one, through the multiplication of sites where the population tends to concentrate, and secondly, by the increase in size of such population sites. For Fielding's 1982, urbanization occurs in the place where there is a direct relationship between urban system and its hinterland, resulting into a further association between the rate of net migratory growth of settlement and size of that urban center. The study of urbanization in broader terms entail an examination of the factor which initiate and sustain this process, and then even studies will indication the society. In contrast, the study of cities and cities life focus on the product, the change introduced by the urbanization in localized context, regardless of the size of the urban system under the study. One could suggest that the study of urbanization represent the macro level and the study of cities and urban affairs the micro level of interrelated phenomena along the continuum rather than a single or two separate phenomena. Meaning of urbanization. Urbanization as a concept is studied by all the social scientists, and a review of these provide four interpretation of urbanization. First one is behavioral, second one is structural, and third one and demographic, and fourth one is a geographical, behavioral. This interpretation was basically given by sociologists, and it started with the work of Louis Wirth, who published a paper called Urbanism, a Way of Life in 1938. He said that all the urban studies were denoted city level studies, and it was a very quantifiable work where they were measuring the certain dimension of the cities. The measurement of cities is not enough here, rather there should exist the theories of cities which should be based on the behavior of social group over the period of time and how an individual behaves during this time within the cities. There are three things within the cities which affected the social group. First one is size. Size is related to the relationship between the different number of the cities. The cities with a big size lead to the segregation of the people from which other due to this relationship between two persons become impersonal and characterized by the competition rather than the complementary or friendly. As a result, the city life leads to the anomie. Anomie means the one is lost in crowd. Density is second one, which deals with the cities have very high densities, and this leads to the great contrast where wealth and poverty live side by side, and this is ultimately lead to the mutual exploitation. And third one is the diversification, and there are too many different type of peoples coming and living in the cities, which is breaking the caste and creed boundaries, because the ability to earn is less rigid, but it also leads to the lots of role confusion and conflict. Sociologists have taken these elements into the consideration and developed many theories under the cover of theories of social changes. This theories basically reveals that when rural population shifted to the urban areas, the society is urban areas is characterized with the industrialization, role of differentiation and division of labor. Over the period of time, the process of social change of rural population in urban areas has also attracted their attention. A structural one is deals with the urbanization, which is process of agriculture communities are transformed into the industrial communities, and industrial communities live in the urban areas. It is also a process of urbanization. This is result of industrialization and economic development. So they are trying to see how occupational structure takes the place of agriculture to non-agricultural. Third one is demographic, rural settlement being the transform into the urban settlement. Therefore, the scholar who interpret urbanization and from this perspective try to understand it from the point of view of migration and thus deal with population mobility. For them, urbanization is a process which takes place because of growth of individual towns, multiplication of towns. Geographical, the geographer do a spatial analysis of urbanization to understand all the phenomena occurring within the city of a spatial framework and also look into their distribution. This interpretation suggests that urbanization should be looked at from three aspects. These aspects are the urban center as the hub of social and economic forces that directly affect the process of like industrialization, economic development and the modernization. And development of systems of cities. It is a hierarchical arrangement of cities from higher to lower order, growth of individual towns both in terms of population and physical expansion. Theories of urbanization, the inclusion of notion of modernization into the concept of development and culture anthropologists, psychologists and the other behavioral scientists have expanded the interdisciplinary research of an improved understanding of urbanization and its impact of society. One of the first theories on urbanization was put forward in 1954-55 after a seminar was held in the University of Chicago. Redfield and Singer in their paper divided the cities into two types based on the observation of French historian Henri Penry. He divided the cities into orthogenetic and heterogenetic types, the former being the loci of the tradition and were mainly pre-industrial cities, where the later one the seats of the industrial capitalism. But Hazlitt 1960 uses the review of others researchers as a basis of the suggest that great number of scholars unfortunately are the expressing views in which they envisage the opening of the development of the underdeveloped countries depend not merely upon adaptation of economic and technological procedures of the more advanced countries as well as also resembling them in the social structure. He quotes that there are two types of cities as well as the urbanization. Cities are either generative or contributed to the economic development of its hinterland, or parasitic, that's lead to the suck the resources that hinterland. Similarly, urbanization is a two kind, primarily which deal about the development without being a contract with the different culture. Therefore, folk culture is a transform into the urban culture, and secondly, the develop as a result of contact with other culture to local culture is shadow. Fred W. Ricks states on the necessities of recognition the correlation between the progressive formulation of institutional arrangement in societies of one hand and other hand in the level of economic development on the level of the economic development in the formulation of the successful policies and programs. Simon Cousin and emphasizes that there is no inevitable technological connection between the industrialization and urbanization, suggesting that it is technically possible that combine a pursuit of the agriculture with urbanization and pursuit of the modern industry with rural living areas. Friedman in 1973 cited that all cities were sites of innovation, organization and of political economic and cultural space and demographic changes. Therefore, development of a system of cities will always lead to the economic development. All the above mentioned hypotheses lead to us the understand that that in what context the process of urbanization should be defined so that it become the easier to understand the factor that generate and sustain urbanization as well as the urban growth. It is not crucial necessities that even today when nearly 50% of the population is residing in the urban settlements throughout the world, we lack in integrative theoretical framework on urbanization. As a result, in most of the countries, especially developing one, the process of urbanization is guided through the national development policies. In purpose of doing this is twofold. Firstly, this would channelize the process in such a manner that it would be the facilitate the process of modernization and economic development, and secondly, it would be the also reduce the negative effect of rapid urbanization. And usually the examples are cited from the experience of developed countries is, but one has to be cautioned here as before doing this one need to seek answer to the following two questions. First one is that does the fragmented knowledge of the unplanned process of industrialization and urbanization and modernization in the developed world provide us with suffice of theoretical base to formulate policies and urbanization and urban development? Second, if so, the model generated are applicable to the situation and condition and found in the developing countries. Before searching of this answer, we have to again do the retrospective study, which is clearly stated that over the period of time, the meaning of urbanization itself has changed. The concept of urbanization as a process of urban growth has been replaced by the urbanization as an instrument of the social change and development. And in other words, now cities were no more agent of economic development and growth, rather become the agent of the change of modernization and innovation. A strategic review of urbanization came towards which emphasize on the urbanization as a positive element in the process of national development. This interpretation may provide a theoretical base of the formulation of urbanization policies, as it also root in the forestile three-sector theory. The three-sector theory simply discuss urbanization as a process where there is a occupation migration of the economically active population. In the current age of industrialization, urbanization denote the transitory phase in the history of the mankind where the societies transform from primary, that is agricultural base, to tertiary sector and civilization. And Jacobson and Prakash with related their concept of the process of urbanization with this theory and suggest that urbanization follow a rising S curve from the level of 10% or less than urbanization is 80% and or more urbanization. That is also seen in the figure number which is provided in content. The social scientists who were working in these third world countries gave a new perspective to the theory of urbanization. They said one should study international dependency relationship between the third world countries and developed countries. The impact of development in the advanced countries is on the third world countries. This came from the studies in Latin America, which was divided into a large number of third world countries with huge natural resources, and USA, and using these resources for its own development. It was a neo-colonial situation after World War II. One of the most important theories in this regard was given by the Terry Magee. His theory is known as the dependency theory of urbanization, and there are two postulated in this theory which is explained in elaborate pattern of urbanization. First one, the capitalist societies established an outpost in the dependent country. These outposts are the generally port cities, which are the established by three purpose: to extract primary product, and second one to expand market for goods and services produced by the advanced countries, and third one, and to ensure a stable indigenous political system which will resist anti-caste ideologies. Is an urban system that develop consists of following premise. First one, the primate cities, which are the satellite of the advanced countries. Development of regional satellite, which act as a point of shipment of new materials and manufactured goods. These theories clearly state that the process of urbanization has been experienced differently in developed and developing countries. Therefore, the model used to explain the process in developed countries cannot be replicated in the developing countries, which is side by side there. In the next section, we will be studying how is this process is different from two worlds. A comparative analysis process of urbanization in third world countries and developed countries, that is a period of between the 19th centuries and the first half of the 20th centuries. The situation of developed countries as per the process of urbanization in developed countries were characterized with the following component, and there was a high rate always increase in per capita product, that is between 15 to 30%, and this was because of the efficiency in production was increased in the manufacturing sector, and there was a substantial growth of population, and that is 10% per decade, because death rate was declining as a result of medical advancement and medical and health service advancement. There was a structural change in the relative importance of different sectors of economy. Decline in the proportion of worker in agriculture because production efficiency and increase maximum in this sector. Shifting towards the manufacture and utilities, that is a water supplies like water supply, electricity, sewages, transports and power generation. And next one is within the manufacturing also there was a shift from the production of the consumer to capital goods. And third one and last one, the increase in the people engaged in the profession like doctors, engineers, architecture and scientists. It is extra. There was a high rate of expansion in foreign trade. The change in the average size of production unit from a small to big, from unorganized to organized sector. There was a very significant rural to urban migration, because the advancement in the agriculture sector leads to the migration between rural to urban, and this is a factory town started in the developing countries. Moreover, after the invention of coal and industrial town developed near the mines area to the raw material resources that are started in the engineering goods, and invention of the railways made the industry footloose in nature. Port and coastal town lead to the developing countries. In 1920s and 30s era, electrical goods and industries is prominent, and they prefer a location near to the market, and simultaneously service sector developed. The electronic goods were also located near the market. The nature of industries become predominantly footloose. The advancement in telecommunication further gave impetus to this process. Kingsley Davis plotted levels of urbanization for many advanced countries and came to the conclusion that all the advanced countries follow a S-curve path of the urbanization. We can see the graph of that S-curve in written matter. They experience three stages in S-curve. First one is there were low level of urbanization, and that is that 10% to 12% when industries were near river or in rural areas due to the industrialization. And there was a little increase in the level of urbanization, that is between the 15 to 18%. The invention of steam engine led to the development of factory towns with iron, steel and textile and important industries. Because of this level of urbanization started growing at a very fast rate. Number of towns came up with industries like iron and steel and textile, engineering, goods, electrical and electronics. By the 1920s, the process of urbanization is changed by suburbanization, but at a very slow pace, because the underground railways were set up in major cities. Moreover, after the 1920s, automobile, especially cars, become more affordable, making it convenience to the suburbs. In post 2000, there is a perceptible decline in the level of urbanization in these countries, as people don't even have to go to the workplace due to the new work culture. Less countries, the countries that generally come under this category, were basically colonies in nature. These countries were characterized with the following features: development of first one is the development of only port cities, which is the rest of the countries have a very low level of urbanization. In last 60 years, population growth in developed countries have increased 2.7% times, while in the third world countries this percentage is nearly 6.5% times increases. The major urbanization in these third world countries, but this is taking place in the backdrop of low level of economic development and industrialization. Third one is there were very low level of life expectancy and education and energy consumption. There is a massive rural urban migration, but different region. When the 1960s scholar started analyzing the process of urbanization in the less developed countries, they said that these countries were the repeating the process which developed countries have undergone. But Terry Magee in 1979 in his work differed from this opinion and said that in the third world or less developed countries, the process of urbanization may look the same to the developed countries in terms of the aesthetics interpretation, but in effect the process is not at all similar. The process of urbanization may look the same that of the developed countries in terms of aesthetic interpretation, but in effect of the process is not all the similar. He says that the difference can be curved out from 3 points of view. Demographic, first one, the process of population growth can be studied on the basis of theory given by the William Peterson in 1975, which identified 3 population type on the basis of birth rate, death rate and infant mortality rate. These are the pre-industrial phase. In this phase, all the indicator of population growth were high, that is birth rate, death rate and infant mortality rate. These all things are the high in all our the time period. Due to this, there was a slow growth of population and very little quantum change in the total population stature. There was a stable and a small population characterized with young population. Early Western phase. Here the birth rate was a high, but remaining to death rate and infant mortality rate were low. That was resulted in the rapid population growth. And third one, the modern Western phase. In this phase, the birth rate and death rate and infant mortality rate was low and further reflected in the overall population was slow and stable. Population was large in number and especially older in nature. The third world countries have rapid population growth with lower level and urbanization. These countries are in the early Western phase, and this rapid growth is occurring both in the rural and urban areas, but more in urban areas. That is why Magee argued that though there is very fast growth in both the cases, but still the causes were different. So the process is not similar in urban and rural areas. Economic in nature, the shifting of population from agriculture activities to non-agriculture activities. In developing countries, tertiary sector developed as people shifted to the tertiary sector as individual was becoming capital intensive. In less developed countries remains more or less as per, and thus industrialization process is very slow and urbanization is not based on it, rather it is based based in the tertiary sector. This is contrary to the process of developed countries, as the process of urbanization was accompanied by the shift from primary sector to the tertiary sector. So, a sociological point of view, in the developed countries, is urbanization was accompanied by the modernization through the educating, while the less developed countries, and it is not a case of social. It is not case, and social culture milieu in the less developed countries people do not come to cities live their milieu, rather they move from rural getting to urban rural settings, while in the developed countries people move from rural countryside to the modern world. And in these cases, literacy rate that is a very much high in developed countries. We know that in developed countries the literacy rate and literate people are in large number, and the proportion of the percentage is very high. In this sense, while high level of education also help in the people to move towards the better their facilities and better amenities to secure life, which a safety point of view, ultimately settle in the urban areas. Therefore, to conclude it is wrong to say that third world war or less developed countries are repeatedly repeating the historical process of urbanization of West as a cause, and consequences are very different. The most important reason being that the process of urbanization occurs simultaneously with the industrialization process and modernization process. In the case of less developed countries, urbanization proceeds industrialization process, and resulting is one-sided urbanization growth. Thank you.